kill Lifestealer. Speaking of like counter matchups, panel touched upon by quite a lot this Puck versus Void Spirit matchup. Of course, it can't go both ways. I would, you know, it's about the players as well. One of the better Puck players out there, Quinn definitely, and then you have Noob, who's been making name for himself. So I want to see how hungry he is. He showed in the previous game that he can play Puck, and now. Like, I'm not a big fan, don't get me wrong, about Crystal Maiden and Skywrath Mage as a support duo, especially against the Broodmother and Lifestealer. It depends who's getting the first jump. If you're silencing Lifestealer, being able to just burst him down, silence plus Void Spirit to Pudge, you also have a BKB piercing ability. But this matchup can also go real bad real quickly, where Lifestealer's having a free time, and then Pudge, like, you just getting slowed down. Ghoul Frenzy, one of my favorite abilities in the game, does so much, just slows people down and gets you that bonus attack speed as well. Just love saying Ghoul Frenzy. Thank you, Suns fan and Synderen. They kind of started this trend. Ace getting cooked.
Oh, there's the hook. Ace. Well, they're trying to be the exterminators of this spider, and they will. Omar getting first blood. That works. You know, that'll make me eat my words that I said in my head. I was structuring the sentence, waiting to respond to you, and I was just like, TA2000 not playing a ranged carry? That might be problematic. Hits the first hook. He doesn't care.
Did have a setup. I like the response from OT immediately after seeing that Broodmother, so they were expecting Gaimin Gladiators to pick it. This has been very popular. This is something that I believe Gaimin Gladiators kind of started to do on their own. Crystal Maiden plus Pudge, so you have a lot of damage, you have a lot of... Pudge in this lineup, in this matchup, will always be low HP. Like, yeah, you know that he's going to get harassed, Rubik with the Fate Bolt, right clicks, so... Expecting Kaori to save some of the tangos. Kaori this time around will need to be slightly more careful. He's not playing Undying, even though he was playing Undying in the previous game. Did manage to die and kind of leave some solo XP, rotated mid, and most eyes on mid lane. So far, 4-1 against 4-0 on Puck.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that mid matchup goes and how safe Core is going to make TA2000, especially in this game. You know, last game, TA2000, what, 8 minutes in, had about 15, 16 denies and was really dominating the lane. So we'll see if he kind of gets a little bit more of the same of that, as Omar's going to lose his courier as we take a look up towards top. Celery on this Enchantress. Snap Skywrath lane. Like, this is not a lane you're going to see all too often.
Definitely not. Usually you want to pair up Snapfire with some kind of melee for Tusk, Tiny, sometimes Rubik, but most of the time, like 99% of the time, definitely not Skywrath Mage. Omar was the one who got the first blood, and now Ace in trouble again.
Yeah, Ace getting a little bit low, needs to survive this, but TA2000 going in, and they've got themselves
They're not done.
Frostbite. And Tofu needs to be very careful about where his positioning is.
If Kaori had enough mana to use another Frostbite, I think they would potentially go for it, but there was already 6 Magic Stick charges, plus a Fairy Fire and Tango running on Rubik.
I wonder if they go for it anyway. What's he got coming on the courier here? Pudge, he's got himself that Ring of Protection, and then the Crystal Maiden's got 3 more mangoes and a Sentry. So all about the mana and the mangoes. So Noob up here up against Quinn. Matchup is the same. It's even. Perfectly even. As all things should be. 11-1 to 11-1. Do they both have 2 sips in their bottle? No. So it's not perfectly even.
Puck is using it as we speak during the pause. But yeah, so far so good for Noob. The thing about this matchup is you could just, if you die once, if Puck gets level 6 faster than you, there is rotation from Rubik, maybe Enchantress. You die once, then they kill you again. Could potentially cause a lot of issues for you because you can't really deal with Coil. Maybe later on, Snapfire. I was thinking about the big wombo, Snapfire Ags plus combo with Pudge Shard, and then you spit out. Not sure who you spit out. Probably going to be Void Spirit.
Skywrath.
Skywrath Mage, go die.
Stole
the first blood.
Yeah, you put him right there. That's for taking first blood. By the way, I like that Celery took it, but his first level on this Enchantress, just knowing that both these heroes don't have a lot of health. So spamming the impetus shots, making them a bit uncomfortable where, you know, taking a CS here or there. That always works. Straccio trying to keep the CS up. He's 13-4. A-okay right now. Noob, did he refill that bottle? No, he's still working on his last sip, so not having that water rune at the moment, while I believe, yeah, Quinn's still holding on to one. Noob actually eating a lot of damage from these illusory orbs. He needs to be a little bit careful. That's his last sip.
Rune not spawning for another minute, so let's see if Noob will decide to go to the outpost, pick up his bounty rune, refill his bottle, because right now he's very low. And something that Kezu did mention on panel is this build. This is NTS build when he's playing the
Ace?
same matchup, Ace.
Telekinesis to throw him onto the Crystal Maiden, but Kaori's still moving forward, and they've got the Frostbite again. They're staying on top of this Broodmother, and while they've got the hook, they'll get the kill. They'll look for Tofu, and they don't have another hook. They don't have a lot of mana on Kaori.
This might be a double kill for Tofu.
TA 2000.
Or he just might die.
5 seconds.
He used that magic one hook. Available in a couple of seconds. Ring of Health on Pudge. Getting some extra tangos and the raindrop.
I almost wanted to say that Kaori's kind of standing forward, hoping he dies, and then get a TP mid. Like, he's giving me that feeling like, yeah, you know, whatever. I'm dead. Telekinesis. You don't want to lose both, though, and...
I was not wrong. Double kill eventually.
Yeah, you got it.
I thought he might go for it, but kind of lost the vision. Both OT members hiding in the trees.
Shot with a cookie up top on Celery. And a scatter blast to get the kill into the
Gold
Enchantress.
Frenzy.
That worked out. And Omar, one shot from dead. The enchanted Warpine Raider is going to get that kill for Celery while he's respawning. That's fun. He didn't actually end up TPing mid either, so they didn't go to refill the bottle for the Void Spirit. He was dealing with that water rune, activates that, has 2 sips to work with, so not necessary to go over mid just at the moment.
Once TA2000 hits level 4, an extra point in a rod, he also brought that Ring of Health, and also does have Raindrop this time around, so a bit more tankiness. Kaori, 2 points in Frostbite. Ratio, try to play aggressive as we've seen even in the previous game. Nefrit dropping very low, needs some extra regeneration. Omar does have Healing Salve and 1 Tango available, but needs to be careful.
Kaori setting up some positioning. Yeah, this isn't exactly like the last game where Gaimin Gladiators in the early parts of the game were playing it across the river. So kind of seeing them maybe be a little bit further back as they do lose Nefrit on the side of Ooredoo Thunders as Duraccio finally gets that kill into the Sapphire. He'd been trying to get that for a little while and does get some help there from Celery. So kill up top, leaving Omar by himself. He's level 3, but not really much doing for a Skywrath mage in that position. Corey. Fade Bolt, right clicks coming in. Fairy Fire. He'll survive, turns it around, has the Frostbite. They'll hit the hook. Ace now hit with the Crystal Nova. Can they get a kill onto the Broodmother and maybe also Tofu? They're chasing this Rubik. That's going to be one. They'll look for a second, but Tofu has got himself that wand.
Corey does have Frostbite. Raindrop.
Frostbite, and the right click damage from a Crystal Maiden. You never think that would get a kill, but in this situation,
nice
it was
try.
Close, but not enough, and that hook's going to be off the mark.
Yeah, can't really just use the hook where he is. Uses it a bit more on the side. That's going to be Vanguard delivered to Pudge. So this bottom lane going really, really well. TA2000 on top of the net worth, a bit of a Kale. Tofu will need to reconnect.
You know, thinking about this series, and if Ooredoo Thunders do end up getting the upset, they're doing it with a stand-in. Like, that is pretty interesting coming together for them and beating the reigning major champions if they're able to pull it off.
Waiter probably watching this series later on because, you know, he's not able to play at the moment. He's like, you know, I'm in danger.
The airdrop's closed, right, guys? Right? Please?
No, the team is doing really well. Like, how they managed to qualify to this Division 1 and also that Bat Boom tournament that they played into. They played really well, caused some upsets. This team is going places.
And well, right now those places are to potentially a higher position on the table if they get a victory here. Where is Noob? Noob is just behind enemy lines looking for Tofu. Duraccio, concussive shot, and these arcane bolts hitting him, so doing some damage as he'll cut through the trees with that Quelling Blade. And they've got Noob coming over. They might get 2. Ace just came back. Ooh, another Astral Step. Tofu low. Tofu dead. double kill here for Noob, getting them both. And Ace, well, he's going to be taking the long walk back because that TP's on cooldown for another 45 seconds. Oh, boy.
Noob did pick up Active Rune, Regeneration, and then Backstab. So now, TA2000 sitting at 5 Flash Heap charges, does have Vanguard. Very difficult to kill. They need to bring, I would say, maybe even a 4th hero to be able to bring him down, because with Puck, Rubik, and Broodmother, who's only level 4, Ace's game looking really rough right now.
Astro Step aggression from Noob as Tofu came in. Dream Coil on the ground and doesn't avoid the Illusory Orb, so that with the Fade Bolt, the right-click damage coming through, Noob is going to die to Tofu. Played aggressive on that and kind of paid the price for it. Leave Corey by himself to try and get an early level 6. It's 7 minutes 40 seconds into the game, and this is a Crystal Maiden that's almost level 6.
This is pretty nuts. 3 points in Frostbite. Once he comes back to the bottom lane, Duraccio, Ghoul Frenzy behind enemy lines.
Infest
Nicely done.
And kills Nefrit, but now they've got the silence. The Astral Step, he comes around to try and get the kill. The Aether Remnant lands. Can they kill Duraccio? Oh, Omar walked back, and he's going to die here. Duraccio gets a double kill, but it will lose his life to Noob. That is not exactly the trade you want if you're OT. And Corey dropped Quinn over mid.
Yeah, not the greatest trade. They would want to keep the lanes that they have, make this Void Spirit rotate, have Crystal Maiden with the Pudge, keep feeding on this Broodmother, who's only level 5 at the moment, Pudge level 6, so any kind of a setup, any hero that TPs to his lane should be a kill. Omar will refill the bottle. Omar does have a point in silence, but I'm not sure if it's enough to kill Puck. They might need another one. Gotta go for Tofu instead.
Yeah, that's a quick kill to get, and at least they get something, especially with the fact that Tofu had just been sitting there mid for so long. Duraccio now playing more of what we saw in the first game, where he was sitting behind, if not right in front of the tier 1 tower in the top lane. Corey coming over, but tough to get close to this hero as, well, you are just going to get stuck if you do. Ace trying to run, hook hit. He's regenning. Quinn's here. Dream Coil the rod.
So
not
close.
enough. And under the tower, Tofu sniping and stealing another kill again. That Fade Bolt is a finishing blow a lot.
This is also Arcane Rune, TP Arcane Rune, Dream Coil, so we'll have it in another 35 seconds. A bit too aggressive from TA2000, which does allow Ace to start coming back into the game. He does have Mana Boots, level 6, so now with the Spiders, 2 supports can't really show up at the bottom lane anymore.
Frostbite. Quinn safe for now. Omar comes in. And, well, this isn't great here for Noob. A lot of damage being done. Frostbite again onto the Rubik. They've got Celery over to the side with the silencer for the Waning Rift. There's the silence from the Skywrath Mage onto this Puck, but they just don't have the damage, and they will lose Noob. So, Gaimin Gladiators really starting to pull away with this one. They're already up 3,000 net worth.
And again, Duraccio playing behind enemy lines, zoning out Nefrit, who needs level... He needs just another creep to be level 6. The problem is, how do you kill this Life Stealer? Skywrath Mage needs to start putting more points in Ancient Seal to be able to potentially burst him, surprise him from the fog. Does he have Tome? Yeah, he does have Tome getting on the Courier, which will get him to level 6, and now maybe with full combo from Snapfire and Skywrath Mage, they could be able to bring him down. Radiant using a scan, they know something is up. Quinn, Invis this time around, and one thing to notice is Quinn decided to buy another set of raindrops. This is the second raindrop just to be able to survive.
He's been doing just that, though. So for now, it's working. Drachu's going to get a tower for free. Seeds of Serenity were down. He heals up through the entire thing. 4K lead here for Gaimin Gladiators. Omar and Corey will chase. They've got the silence, but they just don't have the damage, the two of them. I don't know how this is happening. Corey being involved in so many kills over bottom, but still has a 3-digit net worth.
These are all early kills. And he invested a lot in mangoes. Like, a lot of these were to try to set things up for Pudge's hook. Pudge, this is going to be big timing once he decides to pick up his Aghanim Scepter, but still very far away from it.
Tia 2000 already going into the Ograk, so we'll see what he can get from there. Seeing 4 staffs of plenty being built at the moment. 3-man smoke coming through over mid, so we'll see if they can get themselves a kill on a noob. One more over to the side, and Ace now farming pretty well as he has set himself up ahead.
Boil on a mid lane.
They'll go to the Dream Coil, they'll get the kill on a noob, they'll take out this Void Spirit, and that was what they were setting up with on that smoke. So, Gaimin Gladiators, more time goes by, the more net worth lead they are getting, and this is showing to be problematic for the side of Ooredoo Thunders.
If this was old Dark Troll Summoner before the nerfs, this tower would be dead. They might even go Throne. Those Skelly Bros were so OP. Nefrit, he's not having a game. He's been zoned out completely, doesn't have a hero to play with. This is why we talked about position 4s who can rotate. Skyward Mage is not that hero. Skyward is usually paired up with strength offlaner, someone that can like get the first jump, like an Axe, Skywrath Mage.
Hooked, bite onto the Crystal Maiden. Tofu, he is in trouble. Aether Remnant lands. They will eventually have the damage, but it will take some time to get the kill here onto the Rubik. He had that Frostbite, and well, his net worth was sitting pretty close here to the Snapfires before that death. Not a great life for Snap. So, Ace again, just using these Spiderlings, continuing to farm, and ahead of the puck for a second. Like, this is... The game's just opening up immensely for Gaimin Gladiators. I really wonder what Ooredoo Thunders need to do to get into the recovery path.
Looking at the items, you would definitely want to pick up this Yule Scepter on Void Spirit to be able to defend yourself against Puck, remove the silence, buy some time during the coil. So far, they did a good job protecting their towers. The only tower they lost is a top tier 1 tower, which is not that important. Mid tower is very low. Same goes for bottom tower, down to half HP. Oh.
Crash?
Someone just crashed. Doraccio wants to go. Doraccio's like, I'm getting close. You're delaying my Radiance timing.
Gigalag. Interesting. Yeah, Doraccio, he wanted to go in, what, Omar disconnected in game number 1?
Doraccio just wants to play some Dota.
And now he's the one who's disconnected, so, interesting. I don't know if he can play Dota right now.
I guess he was lagging so much that he thought he was pausing the game, but actually unpaused it.
Just ping difference. So, comes back into the game. We'll see if the lag is gone or if the Giga lag continues.
Seems like Giga lag is still there.
So, where do you think the game is for Ooredoo Thunders right now? Like, what's the mindset? Because it felt like TA2000 was doing well, but it's all starting to fall apart at the seams for him.
I think he's still in a good spot. Just needs that Aghanim Scepter. This is going to be where they take a fight, potentially. Getting Roche with this type of lineup might be a bit more difficult because there isn't that one hero that just kills it instantly. They might need Crystal Maiden to have a Frostbite, might need to take a full 5-on-5 engagement, not lose a hero, and then turn it into Roche, or they just might try to go for tower. This type of lineup also doesn't have tower damage, so that's going to be difficult. It relies on killing people, but they will need to slow down. I think the big one, like this item sync, Yule Scepter on Void Spirit, Aghanim Scepter on Pudge, try to make something happen. Both supports very poor at the moment. This is level 6 Skywrath Mage with just Arcane Boots at the moment. We still haven't seen him use Mystic Flare.
Yeah, not dropping that on anybody just yet. They're going to pick themselves up a Haste Rune, so Quinn will have a way to move. Probably get a kill on a Nefrit as he is up in the lane, and he needs to TP away. We'll see if he's wise enough to this, as he'll go and get this neutral camp, but for now, TP Dream Coil. There it is. Catching it just at the edge and getting a kill there out of the Snapfire once again, and he continues to struggle in terms of getting net worth.
He was so close to TPing out. Doraccio will get the courier from Noob, so... Oh no, that's going to delay his Yule Scepter for full 2 minutes. I want to see some kind of rotation, some kind of a smoke. Broodmother has been sitting in this bottom lane for a very long time. Same goes for TA2000. He only needs one hero. Problem is there is still a tower, so Gaimin Gladiators will definitely respond. So it's time to bring numbers. 2 supports now, making a rotation, trying to make something happen.
TA2000 just walking through these Spiderlings, getting himself any gold that he can. Brood just about finishing off this pipe, and Corey's here with Omar, but is this the numbers that they need to get this kill? Probably would require them to start off with a hook or hope that Ace comes close enough where they can land a Frostbite. And they will. So now they've got the Mystic Flare, brings the Spider Wings in. They look to get the kill on Ace. They've got the Dream Coil down. They will get the finishing blow onto the Broodmother. They go to the Freezing Field. They have the hook on a Tofu. So some damage being done onto the Rubik. They'll get themselves a second kill. They hit the Aether Remnant onto Quinn. They've got the silence to follow it up, and they'll get themselves 3. Oh dear. Wow, that went really well for Ooredoo Thunders. And then immediately Omar disconnects. If he was lagging in that fight, he played it perfectly with high ping.
Pretty much, and now Ancient Seal is maxed out. This is the best silence pretty much in the game. Insta-silence, 6-second duration against the Puck. I've seen Pucks refusing to get any kind of defensive item, trying to tank things up with Kaya Sanj getting a Blink Dagger. I don't know if you want to get a Yule Scepter, if you want to get a BKB, if you're relying on your allies to get a Force Staff so they can force you out of the trouble, because this, damn, like, you're forcing people out of Pudge Rot, out of Skyrot ulti, so it could be one of the better choices in terms of itemization. Celery does have Force Staff available, just needs to be close to the fight.
Yeah, right now they only have the Force Staff on the Enchantress, so let's see what they can do to save Quinn if he does find himself in that kind of trouble once again. No reconnect just yet from the Skywrath Mage, but we did get one of the 2 of the disconnects back, and we'll see if everything starts to calm down once they are back in terms of lag and everything like that. Those couple of kills pushes TH1000 really close to that Ags. That's going to be a big upgrade in damage.
These heroes are going to melt. Whoever gets silenced and they use Pudge or full Void Spirit combo, heroes just disappear. So they are definitely looking into getting into a fight, deleting one target, and then resetting the combo. I don't think we've seen Mortimer's Kisses yet. 15, 16 minutes into the game.
I don't think so either. I think we've been sans Mortimer's Kisses. Yeah, really, I'm enjoying that.
I'm vibing it.
Yeah, we're both kind of head bobbing over here, losing track of ourselves. Good voice lines in the supporter packs. You think this year, this support season?
There's always some good ones.
Some bangers. Who do you think's? You take any listens to any good ones? Any favorites from the tour past?
Kind of hard to remember. If you ask me, like, what's the best voice line of all time, I would have to think for a minute, maybe even harder. Nah, definitely not.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe that would be the one. I still spam that on occasion.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Yeah. So, refixing Discord. Getting themselves back into the voice comms. Although, from what I understand, what was it? Liquid were talking about voice comms. Apparently not important, right? They had Nisha, who was muted for 15 minutes. That's ridiculous. Granted, I guess we all do it in pubs, right? Just mute your teammates.
I guess they, for Liquid situation, you'd think, Nisha, he's just doing his own thing. Playing Dota, doesn't need to talk much. Everybody's on the same level. Nefrit will try to TP out, and will do so. Doracio doesn't have enough damage yet. Once he picks up that Sacred Relic, that's going to be an extra one going into Radiance next. In terms of, like, item build, his Radiance, he's not playing into any illusion carry. There isn't, like, a mischance that he's too worried about because most of the damage is magical. So I guess his thinking is, I want to be able to get more farm, and also I want to sustain in the fight, get this damage from Radiance going. His next item, I feel like it needs to be a BKB just to be able to defend himself, because if he gets silenced by Skyrot Mage, they're going to blow him up. Yeah,
that silence is long, and they do have the follow-up sustained damage to get those kills, as we saw over bottom. See if they get anything else. They've been grouped up bottom for a little while now, but they do have that Ags coming out for the Pudge, and it looks as though they're going to eventually start building an Ags there for the Void Spirit, so looking for even more silences.
This was supposed to be like 13, 14-minute Yule Scepter on Void Spirit. He's getting it now, 17 minutes into the game. First of all, he died 3 times with the rotations, then his courier died, so that's going to delay his item timing.
Not a great spot to be in, but he's got just about the same amount of gold as Quinn anyway. despite that fact. And Nefrit, again, just forced to try and TP out. Goes to the mech, but the Dream Coil is down, and Duracio's got himself an easy kill onto the Snapfire. Really nowhere for him to go. Can't get out of that one. Bottom lane, hook lands on a Tofu, Dismember, and not taking a lot of damage just yet, but they've got the silence. Eventually they'll get the kill. They go to the freezing field, but that's not landing on anything. Oh, I was looking at the Void Spirit. He has not bought that Void
He
Stone
might be
yet.
thinking about
Going
getting Aghanim
Axe,
Scepter. Yeah, just to be able to silence the backlines, silence the puck, who still doesn't have a defensive item. Quinn having a Blink Dagger, so that's going to help him getting the initiation. If they can blow up a hero, most likely you're looking to blow up this Skyret Mage, who's been causing some serious issues in the past couple of minutes.
Truthfully, I don't think that's a bad audible from Yules to Ags like that.
The thing is, you have all the components. You have Windlace, Staff, and a Recipe. But you're also 1,000 gold away from Ags, so I wouldn't mind seeing him. Let's see. Okay, not going to play with his life. I mean, he could have picked up Point Booster. Might make a difference in a fight.
Yeah, they'll look for Celery. Astral Step onto the high ground, but they're forced staff into the Roche pit, so away he'll go as these heroes sit towards top.
Finally buys it. Noob was thinking about, do I want to reveal things? If I get caught and then I die because I don't have that 175 extra HP, I'm gonna lose it. I lost my courier already, delaying my own game.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, and that kind of slowed down the pacing that Ooredoo Thunders were going with. They've got the silence as well as the Dream Coil. It's onto the Void Spirit, but it gets behind the trees. Celery coming over. They'll look for the Aether Remnant, not lands, but Noob trying to get away. One right click's not going to be enough, so Celery survives with just a little bit of health. They don't end up getting that kill into the Void Spirit, though.
That Point Booster,
that was
making a difference.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Omar gets caught, but they've got the Yules. They'll look for the Aether Remnant. Omar's going to survive here. They've got the damage to get the kill on a Quinn again. The Infest on a Celery. Duraccio going the other way. They get the kill on a Noob. They'll take out Nefri, but they've got the Dismember. It's onto this Lifestealer. Duraccio still trying to fight.
Now they're in trouble.
It's going to end. TH2000 trying to TP out. And then damage just isn't quite there, but they will get a third of Corey. And, well, it looked good for a second when they killed Quinn, but then it all fell apart.
As soon as Duraccio joined with Radiance, they ate him, understood that there is no damage from Skyret Mage. They could potentially blow him up. If they use Ancient Seal with Rot, with Void Spirit, this Lifestealer just disappears completely. And speaking of the itemization on Duraccio, he is going for a bit of a different item build, Mantis Style instead of a BKB, which I also really like. To have ability to push out the waves, pretty much the same item build as he went on Abaddon in the previous game. No Armlet, but Radiance Mantis Style. This is going to increase his farm by quite a lot, and we see win probability. 69% now turns into 70.
Almost nice. So, smoke from two heroes. It's the heroes that have the silence and the burst damage, so we'll see with the control what they can get here. But it's been tough. They're like close to breaking through, but after that last fight, it goes from 5K to 9K. And there's that silence. Mystic Flare's down, but they don't have the control to keep him under it. Yule's up into the air, and then immediately they're just going to retreat from this fight, so Duraccio is able to survive, and they bring in the reinforcements just in case. Bottom lane, Ace, not a lot of mana to work with. The Spiderlings, though, getting chased down with that Rot. No hook hitting in that situation, so able to just walk away.
Gotta try. If you don't try, you're not gonna hit anything.
Silence.
Right? Silence. They're gonna be able to blow him up unless
they do not hit the Aether Remnant again. They go to the Dream Coil. They're gonna turn this one around. They'll look for Nefra with the Illusory Orb on him. Celery's got the dominating spree and popping out of the Infest to kill off Omar. So both of them go dominating, and again, Ooredoo Thunders, well, things feel very lackluster in the last 7 minutes of this game.
They definitely do. Like, they lack a bit of control. They do go in. They see this 4-staff on Enchantress. Skyret Mage does not want to heavily commit. Same goes for Snapfire. So in the end, they die. And Ace now about to finish. Guardian Greaves has a pipe. So he wants to be able to mitigate as much damage as possible from all of these heroes. How's Void Spirit doing? Aghanim Scepter about to be completed in 1100 gold, while the rest of the Gaimin Gladiators are going to finish off the Roche. So Duraccio will pick it up. Has enough gold to buy Mantis Style in 100 gold, farms one creep camp, and that's going to be it. Usually I'm not a big fan of Dagger of Ristul, but on certain heroes like Lifestealer, it works out well.
Where people are just kind of running away from you. Dagger Ristrel doing its thing.
Yeah, you get a lot of damage, but you get the HP, so it's not that bad.
Extra little bit of attack speed is always nice. Consuming 100 health is what, nothing for him, right?
Pretty much.
2,600 total health. Here he goes, just running him down, activates it, hook to try and get the save, but that's right, an ace. Effort's gonna survive for a second longer, but eventually dies to the Radiance burn of Dyrachyo, so now goes after Kaori, but they've got the Dream Coil to follow it up to make sure that he can't run. They'll pop the Infest once again. Hook, but burn, burn, burn. And melt that ice away from Kaori and get themselves another kill. They're running back TA2000 as well.
Nice play there from Dyrachyo. Invest his own illusion, and this game seems to be very difficult for Ooredoo Thunders. Their comeback into this game is some kind of a hook underneath the tower. They blow him up, instant silence. They do have overwhelming amount of damage, but it's just how they're going to execute. And looking at Quinn's items, wants to be able to defend themselves, which is going to give him more tankiness. At one point, he was thinking about getting that Kaya Sanj, but Lincoln Sphere also gives you enough tankiness, plus also provides you with defensive mechanism against Dismember and most importantly, Ancient Seal. OT, they feel like they're losing the game right now, so something needs to be done. Even smoking into Aegis that Dyrachyo still has for another 3 minutes. Definitely not the hero you want to get into as the first point of contact.
Those illusions will walk on by, and Ace will break the smoke. Send Spiderwings over.
This is a bad spot. They're underneath the ward.
Yeah, they've got that up on the high ground, and they get the kill into Omar. There's nowhere for him to go. Ace is going to get credit for that one. The freezing field is down. They get the kill into Tofu. They'll end up trading 1-for-1, but the impetus shot's coming in onto the Crystal Maiden. They get the kill to Kaori and take out a second. They've bought back here on Tofu. They want to get the finish in this game, most likely, and they'll blow up Noob. There was really nowhere for him to go, especially once the telekinesis hits. TA2000, he's showing himself up towards top with that rot, but you need to get out of sight and out of mind as the right hooks come in, but he's able to TP out.
Hook, very difficult hook to land with all those spiders. Ace breaks the smoke. They are fighting underneath the vision. Skyrat Mage immediately deleted by Lifestealer. Tofu even using a buyback just to be able to secure things, making sure that they are going to win another fight. Void Spirit does have Aghanim Scepter finished off, but they need to be the ones jumping. And also, these heroes are becoming more and more tanky. Both supports having Cookie.
Cookie lands the damage with the Mystic Flare. That's the Aegis, but, well, they're going to probably continue to try and go into Dyrachyo. I don't know if they're going to have the damage. They'll go to the Dismember, but look at the damage coming out on the TA2000. Like, this is coming from Celery. Celery, who's got himself a Hurricane Pike, and, well, they'll get the kill to Kaori. They'll look over at the rest, trying to get out of this. With it Assimilate, Noob up onto the high ground, lays down the Aether Remnant with the Silence landing, but Dyrachyo goes into the Manta. They've got the Dream Coil that's going to snap with the Cookie being popped by Nefrit. So TA2000, 4-staff back into the base. Dyrachyo chases him down and gets the kill. Quinn's got credit for that one. Ace gets credit for the kill on a Noob, and they don't have buyback on either the Pudge or the Void Spirit. But a Silence, a concussive shot, and some kisses the way of Quinn, and, well, he'll be put to sleep with those kisses into the grave.
Gotta be careful. If you overextend, like you see Lifestealer dies immediately with Rot, with Silence, and the full Mystic Flare. This is a level 2 Mystic Flare, so gotta be more wary of the damage. Still, carry-to-carry matchup. Pudge can play this matchup if he does have a secondary carry on his team. This is not Void Spirit. He's not that type of a hero. Doesn't deal physical damage. One of the reasons why I noticed that Nefrit's trying to build up some kind of physical. Still a long way from it. Level 12 only. You want to get that level 15, level 20 talent. So playing the long game potentially for them.
Yeah, do you think it was worth it, though? If you want to build the damage, I feel like Guardian Greaves just sets you back so much.
Not really. You want to have some kind of, team presence, especially because your early game didn't go too well, and now he's changing things. Like, he understands that he's very far away. He's extremely under-leveled.
Yeah, I think if he wanted to do that, maybe Guardian Greaves should have been on somebody else, but I don't really know who would have been the one to be able to build it all. So, 17,000 net worth lead here for Gaimin Gladiators. And Ooredoo Thunders, they went with that smoke and over mid, and that fight didn't work out for them. But it does feel like they're down to one of their last fights or two. And it's going to start with Kuri going down to Dyrachyo.
Full combo to kill Crystal Maiden, Coil and Infest Bomb, just to be able to get a kill. It's going to be very difficult to land a hook with all those spiders, so even with the illusions, Dyrachyo, level 20, extra Ghoul Frenzy slow, big fan of that talent.
So gets the mid-tier 3, and let's go for the racks. As Tofu sits back, the hook doesn't land. Aether Remnant not going to do its part either because of the hook not landing, and this is going to be a free set of racks. There's a tier 2 still sitting over bottom, and with Gaimin Gladiators getting the tier 3 over mid, that's where they're going to head to, the tier 2 bot.
Dyrachyo will send illusions to the top lane, cut the creep wave there with Radiance, and they can push the tier 2 tower. TA2000 is pinging it out. Seems like they want to take a fight, and they're going to smoke. Dire using a scan. They know something is up.
Oh boy. Yeah, this could be the final fight. If they don't get this right. Ace kind of sitting back. The rest of the team on the high ground, they're actually wrapping around on them. They're going to go in with Quinn having the Infest. The Waning Rift, they'll pop the Infest. They'll look over at Nefrit. He'll pop the Guardian Creeps, but they've got the stun for the Centaur Creep. The Dream Host's going to be down onto 2 of these heroes. They'll look over at the Crystal Maiden to get the kill on a Kaori. So now, godlike for Dyrachyo, as Omar, he's away from his team, and well, now away from his team because he's in the grave. He's in a body bag. And it's looking like the rest of the team may join him in said body bag as the right click's coming with the BKBB Popeye TA2000. But the bash is out from Dyrachyo. The buyback, so Omar out.
Stolen Dismember, and they're going to call it.
G. Doesn't even matter at that point. Gaimin Gladiators going to even the series up at 1.
A bit of a rough game for them, I would say. This type of draft, we said after we saw it that it can look